Hello, everyone. My name is Ariel. I am market coordinator in the National Institute of Tourism Promotion of Argentina. Welcome to this webinar of Salta province. Thank you for joining us today. I would like to introduce to Mr. Eduardo Piva from our Office for North America. Hello, Eduardo. How are you?
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon and good morning in West Coast. I'm Eduardo Piva, Director of the Argentina Tourist Office in the state, based in Miami. And it's a pleasure to welcome you to this webinar about the province of Salta and his possibility to visiting relating to the wine and gastronomy as a Terroir and Payogasta wine from Salta. Salta is part of the as part of the Northwest corridor in Argentina, is one of the main tourist destinations, and it's famous for the landscaping, wines, gastronomy, and especially for the people. Now I'm going to introduce to Natalia Urquiza from the Institute of Tourism Promotion from the province of Salta, who will be in charge of the updating us on this wonderful destination. Natalia?
Hi, Eduardo. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us. And today I'm going to talk about our province of Salta, together with Claudio and Esteban, our best winemakers from the province.
Hello, Claudio. Hello, Javier. How are you?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this webinar. We are located now in the north region of Argentina, so we are all together through the webinar, but we are very far apart in geography. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Well, we will try to make a little fast trip for everyone about our marvelous valley, and we hope you enjoy.
Okay, just a couple of things before we start. There is a special field where you can write your questions. So at the end of the webinar, we're going to reply them. And also this webinar is being recorded. So just a few hours after we finish, you will be receiving an email with a link to check it again, okay? So before we start with the presentation, we invite you to show a short video of Argentina. So we are going to turn off our webcams to see a full screen video, okay? And we are coming back in a moment. Thanks.
Hoy te invitamos a que viajes. Sí, escuchaste bien. A que viajes con la mente. Que cierres los ojos y te veas en un avión viajando a ese lugar que tanto soñaste. Qué linda sensación, ¿no? De libertad, de aventura, con esa adrenalina de conocer una maravilla natural. Montañas, lagos, salinas. Sentir la sensación de caminar sobre un glaciar o de llegar al fin del mundo. Todo está en tu mente. Podés llegar, solo tenés que soñarlo para que pronto se haga realidad. Desde tu casa, solo, en familia o con amigos, porque aunque estemos distanciados, hoy estamos más cerca que nunca, soñando un mismo sueño. Viajá desde tu casa.
Okay, so well, we are going to start traveling from home. So Natalia, it's all yours, the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ariel. Okay, thank you for sharing your time with us today. First, let me tell you about our province of Salta. Our province of Salta is located at the northwest of Argentina and bordered with 3 countries, Bolivia, Chile, and Paraguay. Salta has a land connection with the north of Chile through Paso de Sico in the province of Salta, and through Paso de Jama in the province of Jujuy, and also connects by land with the south of Bolivia. Also, Salta borders with 6 Argentina provinces: Jujuy, Tucumán, Catamarca, Santiago del Estero, Chaco, and Formosa. Salta, our province, has a population of 1,200,000 people, and more or less the 50% of the inhabitants in the city of Salta, in the capital. Also, we have the connection, the air connection. We have the domestic flight through different airlines such as Aerolíneas Argentinas, Andes Líneas Aéreas, Flybonded, and JetSmart. And Salta connects with the main city of Argentina like Buenos Aires, Iguazú, Puerto Madryn, Córdoba, Mendoza, Neuquén, and Ushuaia. Our international air connections we had with the company Copa Airlines, and we can get from the city of Salta to Panama, and Lima through LATAM. Okay, now that I told you where we are, our province, let me introduce you to excellent winemakers, Claudio and Javier. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Natalia. Claudio, it's all yours.
Thank you, Natalia. I think you are geographically just have a view of how to arrive in Salta. What we are watching now is a map which is showing Salta as the capital city of the province. That's where normally all the tourists enter in our province. There are also other ways to access by car, but normally international tourism comes in through the international airport in Salta. And what you are seeing here is what we call the wine route, where most of the wineries and the vineyards are located in the province of Salta. We have let's say it's some sort of closed circuit where you start in Salta and you can go southbound to El Carril, and then you can go west to Cachi and down to Cafayate. Cafayate is where we are located now. We are speaking from Cafayate. And then you can go back to Salta through this another paved way back to Salta. Or you can also have the other way around, from Salta down to Cafayate, and then climbing up to Cachi. And I'm saying climbing because Salta is at around 1,200 meters height above sea level. That will be around 3,600 feet above sea level. And Cachi is around 3,000 meters over sea level. That will be 9,000 feet. So that's why I say we are climbing. So let's start talking about what you can see in Salta and what you can encounter. And we're going to make a trip on this way. We're going from Salta up to El Carril. In El Carril, you have a paved road up to El Maray. Then you have a little bit of dirty road until you get up to Cachi. So let's start our tour. Javier, I cannot access the next. There we are. The first step. Let's go one before. The first step is a location called Chicuana, which is very famous by its food. Local food here in Salta is mainly what you will find is wonderful empanadas and wonderful tamales and humitas, which are very typical meals from the north of our country. Empanadas is normally pastry surrounded by covered by meat, covered by a pastry. Humitas and tamales come from the corn, which the tamal is a meal that is made with meat, corn flour, and it's all shrouded by the corn leaves. And humita is almost similar, but instead of meat, it only has corn inside. Very good for the red wines. Chicuana will be the first stop there. And it's also what we call the gaucho town. The gaucho is an international term, but in the north, the gauchos are quite different to the ones you will find in Buenos Aires. The people you will find in Salta is very traditional. We have a lot of history, and we are very religious. So the people you will find is always friendly, smiling, and willing to help the tourist. So we make a little step forward. Just a little bit, this moves, and we start climbing the Cuesta del Obispo, which is it's a slope. You can see there part of the road, the waving road, the winding road. First 30 kilometers, first 20 miles are paved, but then you get a dirty road, as you can see over there, showed by the hands of this woman there. This is a very nice view for this winding road with wonderful landscapes, and you will start climbing from Salta, or from the 1,200 meters up to the 3,000 meters. That will be from the 3,600 feet up to the 9,000 feet. This road is around 90 kilometers. 90 kilometers, it's around 70 to 80 miles. Normally it takes around 3 hours to 4 hours. Not because it is very difficult, it's very easy to drive, but all the landscapes you can find there make you take photographs and go slowly. And also you cannot go at high speeds, obviously. Let's go for the next one. Once we stop climbing the Cuesta del Obispo, we get up to this landscape, which is a little chapel in what we call the Piedra del Molino. And from there onwards up to Cachi is around, again, a paved road. Here in this road, you will find the Recta del Tintín. This is a very, as you can see behind the bicycles, it's a very straight route that dates from the Inca times. So in this part of Argentina, the Incas were present in the beginnings of the civilization. From the Recta del Tintín onwards, you get up to Cachi, finally. And in Cachi is the first small town you can find, where weather is around, as all the weather in the northern and specifically in the Calchaqui Valleys, all year round. It's temperatures, very sunny days. Temperatures are very comfortable. It's not humid. Normally people talk about our north, and when we talk about our north, it's similar to our south. Normally it's close to the equator, and they think it's very, very hot. But as we are very high, it's very dry, and it's very easy. Normally what we dress as an onion. We put on clothes in the morning, we take them off in the midday, and back again in the afternoon. In summer, your winter, our summer is around from 15 degrees Celsius up to 30, 35. That would be around from the 70s to the 90s in Fahrenheit, and very, very dry and very comfortable. And Cachi offers the first step, and where you can sleep. There are various accommodations. There is a archaeological museum. UFOs have been seen here too, so you can find plenty of things to do and have very good meals. And you will find here also some vineyards, which are the most new ones, let's say, in the region. But the importance of this region is that we find here the highest vineyards in this region. From Cachi onwards, let's say I went back, sorry, to the Recta del Tintín. From Cachi onwards, we go down south. Now we are going from the 900 feet downwards. We're going up to Cafayate. and we'll find 2 or 3 different locations in the road. All this road is a dirty road. Normally it's very comfortable to do in a pickup truck, but also a car can do it, but you have to take care of the speed. In Molinos, the first location, there is a detour that goes one of the, I would say, the unique museums in the world, which is the James Turrell Museum, which is a museum that works with a light. And it's some place that you have to go, besides that it's one of the best wineries as well in the region. That region, it's called Colomé. So the first step will be in Seclantas, which is a city, and Molinos, that they have very nice landscapes, handcrafts, and wines as well. And there are also very good accommodations in Molinos and in Colomé. And going southbound from Molinos, southbound, we get up to, next one please. This is another site from Molinos. Molinos has a very antique church and a very antique hostel, which you are seeing there at the patio, the central patio. Very nice food, very nice location, and very good people and nice people that will take care of you. Going, keeping our trip down, southbound. It's a little bit slow while we are far away. We get into one of the corridors where the nature shows itself in all its splendor. Quebrada de las Flechas, which flechas means arrows, is because of the shapes of the mountains that we find here. These are formations that took place a lot of years ago, and it is the 2 plates that crushed and pushed forward the landscape as it was a cake, but the cake now is upside down instead of horizontal. Very nice, wonderful location, and it's also always surrounded by the river Calchaqui River, which is the river that gives water to all this region. As you can see, what I was saying just before, the shapes of the mountains are as they have been pushed from down upwards, and that's why they call it flechas, because the erosion of the wind and water have been sculpturing the mountains in this kinds of different shapes and forms and illusions. That's great. And then finally we get up to Cafayate. Cafayate was where we are talking now, from Cafayate, where most of the wineries started here, and in 150 years ago. From the most classical, as you can see here, all the architecture is as well very colonial from that time. And Cafayate is one of the second visit center in the province on Salta, where there you can find here horseback ridings. There is a wonderful golf court here, and that has been internationally awarded. So for all of those that like golf, this is a very good location, and there is always sun and good weather, and a lot of restaurants as well, international restaurants and local food as well. You can find also artisans and handcrafts. So it's a very good place to stop and stay for a couple of days in Cafayate. And if you remember the map we were talking in the beginning, we went from Salta to Cachi westbound, then we went from Cachi to Cafayate southbound, and now what we are taking is the way back to Salta from Cafayate to Salta through the other route, the one that was more on the east. This is a totally paved road, so those of you that don't like on dirty roads can go back and forth to Salta on this road, which is totally paved. And here you have another kind of formations. They have similar shapes, but their origin is quite different. And there are a lot of different formations. What you see on the left is what we call the amphitheater, where Normally these musicians or choirs playing or singing with a wonderful acoustics and wonderful landscapes as well for photographs and nature and site views. This is another view from the route. As you can see, the road is totally paved, wonderfully paved, and very well signed. So as we keep going now north, and the final destination will be Salta. This is somehow a short introduction of what was the route of the wine. In all the different locations that we have been stopping in sight, you can find wineries, you can find food, you can find artisans, and most of all, it's nice people that will smile to you and help you in whatever you need. I leave now Javier, who is going to talk about what you are interested most, I think so, and that is the terroir, special terroir here in Cafayate, and some sort of introduction to our wonderful wines. Javier?
Okay, terroir is a delimited place where we can have a particular characteristic that makes his influence in the grape, are of course in the wine. This influence can be by natural influence like soil, like climate, like every effect that have one special place, but also the effect of the man with his work and his influence on a grape. Then all this is very special in Calchaqui Valley, and we will try to explain what is our terroir. The Calchaqui Valley is between two mountain ranges, the Aconquija in the east and the Calchaqui in the west, both next to the Pre-Andes. This valley is traveled from the north to south for the Calchaqui River, and from the south to north from the Santa Maria River. These two rivers meet in front of Cafayate, making a box of water. And this is why it's the name, because Cafayate means in Indian language, box of water. All this valley is impermanently uneven, from the top of the mountain, west or north, to the river, and also from the north at 10,200 feet to the south at 5,200 feet. This altitude is a main importance for us because it is a reason why our wines are so different and unique in the world. We have exceptional natural conditions for a grape growing. That's also is a very healthy production. This is easy to find. That is why it's easy to find organic growers in our valley. We start speaking about soils in these 250 kilometers along this valley. The soil here is, his origin is alluvional and is mostly sandy. Some part is mixed with little of clay or little of lime. Some other parts is only sandy. Some others with gravel, stone, little calcareum, but in every place are very deep, with high drainage and very low fertility. All these are very special and very good for management in order to get a plant in balance with the place. The Calchaqui Valley is an arid or desert valley at 5,200 feet to 10,200 feet. That means high thermic amplitude between day and night, around 65 to 75 Fahrenheit degrees, with very cool night, with the temperature in the night very cool. And that helps in order to keep the acidity in the grape. Also, the valley have very low raining, His annual average is between 90 to 240 millimeters. But this happens only in summer, between November to February. Also, the air humidity is very, very low, around 30%. And remember what we spoke before, this valley is in a slope, and that means in a slope from the mountain to the river, and that means a permanently breeze. All these conditions give a very healthy microclimate for the cluster that this we can translate in very good sanity. We spoke about these different conditions, but not yet about the altitude, which one is the most important influence is the sun intensity. In Mendoza, who produce excellent wine, they start at 2,000 feet to 5,500 feet. And we are starting at this level, and we go to 10,000 feet or a little higher. Then higher we go, more effects from the sunlight we have. Something that we can see in the next picture. Here we can see the intensity of the sun in our different regions in Argentina. The red place is a place where we grow where is Calchaqui Valley and where we grow our vineyards. This is because higher we go, less UV filter we have, and because the air layer is thinner. And then we have higher effects on the grape. The grape and the plant need to have a reaction of this sun intensity, and his reaction is making thicker and strongest skin, where the concentration, the anthocyans, the flavonoids, and tannins, and all different characteristics that we will find in the wine take care. All this concentration is higher when we go more feet over sea. All this altitude influence we can translate in wines, which one are very deep in color, very aromatic, with good natural acidity, very fruitful, very powerful, but also at the same time fresh and elegant. In Calchaqui Valley, we have around 3,300 hectares. It's around 7,000 acres. We represent only the 2% of the total production in Argentina. It's very low, but our importance is higher in the marketing because our wines are only of high quality and also with very good varietals quality. Between these varietals, we have our two flags, which one are Malbec and Torrontés. Malbec in red, and Torrontés is a white. I want to speak a little bit about Torrontés because Torrontés is a native varietal. In Argentina, the grape arrived to the missionary priest in 1553 with two varietals, the Moscato of Alexandria and Listan Prieto or Mission grape. These have a cross between and we find three sons of this cross, which one is Torrontés Mendocino, Torrontés Sanjuanino, and Torrontés Riojano. But the best is the Torrontés Riojano, with better organoleptic characteristics for make wine. This is why we only use this varietal for make our own Torrontés from Argentina. For work with all these varietals, we use two principal systems. The pergola system is the VHP system. All this is because the sun intensity. Pergola system is a high structure, is around 2 meters the structure, and we manage the plant like a roof. Then we can walk under this roof and see all the cluster hanging from the plant. All this grape is collected by hand, of course. The VSP system, vertical shoot position, is more knowledge. Is like a wall, also of 2 meters, but the grape is handled at 90 centimeters from the soil. All this is we try to keep a balance with the place. We try to make a balance, a natural balance with this condition, and for this means a combination of management and international condition for each cluster in order to get the best result for better wines.
Okay, well, there is some sort of a quick view of our region, our terroir, our wines, and what we would like to talk to you about now is not lecturing about pairings with wine and meats, but what we say here normally there is some sort of guidance on which wine pairs with which food, and what we think here about is that it depends on your own tasting. The wine you can have it. Let's unstructure the wine. The wine you can have it. You can have a red wine if you like, or you can have a white wine if you like, with a meal you're having at the time. The important thing is that you have wine. That's the important thing. And here in this zone in Cafayate, you will find in Salta, Cafayate, in Molinos, in all the places that we were talking about, you will find different specialties, different restaurants that offer their specialties, and they have a recommendation in the pairings for the wines and the meals. However, what we were trying to talk about is that it depends on the taste of that, what you like at that moment. Remember, most of the time, a red wine or a white wine that you tasted here in Cafayate is also influenced by the people, is also influenced by the weather, and it's also influenced by the location. So in a very nice afternoon, having a nice rosé while the sun sets, it's a very good pairing as well. So what we would say is normally there is some suggestions on fish. Normally it will be a white wine, on red meat that is very good in the northern Argentina as well. It will be a red wine recommended. And also in desserts, we have very good sweet wines here in the region. So there is a very nice array, a very big array of different wines, different varietals, different blends that make an enormous combination possible. So what we say here is enjoy your wine, enjoy your time, and enjoy the company. And hopefully we will see you here soon and enjoy together a glass of wine. I don't know if Javier has something to add.
No, only that also we have sparkling wines.
That's right. Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Up to here is our presentation. At the end of this webinar, there will be an opportunity if you have any questions, and we will be very glad to answer them.
Thank you, Claudio. Thank you, Javier. So we are going back with Natalia with some experiences of the province of Salta.
Thank you. Okay, the Salta is not only the Calchaqui Valleys, but as you can see, you have different kind of landscapes. But in all the province, we can find, or you can find, a biodiversity of geography, from the jungle to the puna, from 300 meters above sea level to more than 3,000 meters above sea level. Yes, so okay, okay. Sorry, a moment, please. I had a problem with the. Okay, now we are here. Okay, in the province of Salta, also we offer a wide range of hotel establishments and restaurants. Yes, in all the province of Salta, you can find more than 20,000 hotel beds, and in the Calchaqui Valleys had more than 3,000 hotel beds. Yes, from 5 stars hotel to hostels. Yes, so also in the Calchaqui Valleys you can find hotel in the middle of the vineyards. If you can enjoy the landscape, and also you can enjoy a glass of wine. And you can enjoy the different experience. For example, a cook classes. The cook classes in this place or for this activity, you can learn to do our typical food. One of the typical food is empanada. Yes, but also you can find or you can learn to do humitas, tamales, locro. But the locro is not when it's in winter. Yes, because it's very hot. Yes. And also you can visit if you go or if you decide to go to Cafayate, the Museum of the Vine and Wine in the Calchaqui Valleys. In this museum, you can discover the history of the wines, yes, since the arrival of the first grape plants brought by the Jesuits until today. It's very interesting, this museum. The community tourings. The community tourings is the real experience where you can discover the sense of our culture, the original culture, and you can share it a day or more than one day with a local family, and you can learn with the family to do or make a different kind of things. For example, you can make a regional wine, such as the Patero Mistela. It's a regional wine, and it's a sweet wine, yes? It's different to the other wines that you can find in the supermarket, for example. Yes? Other activities that you can do in the Calchaqui Valleys and enjoy the landscape and live the experience is doing activities like horse riding through the vineyard, or maybe by bicycle. This is other option, or maybe walking. And also you can do the experience making a winemaker for a day. Consists of design your wine, sorry, so you can combine the different grapes. For example, if you like the Cabernet Sauvignon, Tannat, or Syrah, for example, you can mix these different grapes and you can make your own wine. Yes. And this museum, the Museum of the Light. I'm sorry, I can't back.
Let me help you, Natalia, just a moment.
Yes, please. Okay, thank you. This is Museum of the Light. It's a unique museum. It's located in a place that called Colomé, in the middle of the nature. It's a place where you can breathe the peace. This museum is a sensory museum, so it's very difficult to me to explain the different things that you can see in this place, because you need to feel in this museum. Yes, so if you have the opportunity to come here, is a good place where you can visit. Okay, that's all. I hope you enjoy our presentation, and I hope you can come here soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Natalia. Thank you, Claudio. Thank you, Javier. So before we are going to all the questions, we invite you to see a Salta video. Okay, so just a moment, please. Wow, an amazing video. One of my favorite provinces in Argentina. So I invite you to all the presenters to turn on their webcams, and we are going to start with some of the questions. Well, the first one is English spoken in the wineries and restaurants in the province?
Yes, normally there is English and French-speaking people that could take care. No, it's advisable that you check in advance if you're going to have this service, because there are some wineries that do have it and some wineries that do not. There are other wineries that have an international hotel within. So there are different alternatives that you can find out. And it's always it's suitable to ask before if they're going to be a translator. And if they don't have, mainly if you can advise in advance, certainly somebody will take care of your needs and offer you the service you are needing.
Okay, the next one. Are all wine regions close to each other, or we can visit them all? So will there be hotels on the way or stops? So maybe you could recommend some tour around all the wineries.
Yes, all the circuit that we saw just in the second part of this webinar, all the circuits is around 500 kilometers, let's say 450, 500 kilometers, 700 to 800 miles. And normally you will say that you can do it in a day, but considering the dirty roads and the wilderness of the roads, it's normally not suitable to make in one day. Yes, there are different locations, let's say, or stations that normally people do. You can go from Salta, sleep in Salta, and sleep the next day in Cachi, or Molinos, or Seclantas, which are within 1 day range in a car. And also you have very good accommodations in Cafayate. So there is always an accommodation where you can find. It's not advisable to do everything on 1 day, because you will lose a lot of things in the landscape. The most important things are landscapes and wines. That's what we say.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
Actually, talking about that, about the Sundays. Yes, Javier. Sorry. Yes.
No. I say it's a lot of view, a very nice view, and also a lot of activity. You can live all this park with different kind of activity, like Natalia spoke before, horses, hiking, different things.
Yeah. Well, talking about how many days, one of the questions is, what is the minimum time you recommend to spend in Salta? Because it's not just only winery in Salta. This webinar is about wineries, but well, you have much more to do in Salta.
Yeah.
So how many
I
days?
would say a week will be especially a good time to take. But normally people that come from abroad don't have that week. But from 3 days onwards, 3 days to a week, you can have a very nice view of the city of Salta, nice view of Cafayate, and return. That will be the short recommendation. And the longer recommendation will give you the chance to look and see all other things that we have to offer.
Remember, everything depends how much you drink.
That's right. One more. What's the meaning of Salta name? One question about all the province.
One of the exceptions I know is from a Quechuan voice, an Indian voice that means Sakta, and it deformed into Salta. One funny thing I saw once was translated as jump or jumping. That it's in Spanish is Salta, but it has nothing to do to that activity.
And it's very important to also to say that we call the beautiful La Linda.
Yes, that's right. It's very right.
It's
I am
very
from
beautiful.
Buenos Aires originally, so I've been living in Salta for the last 15 years, and I won't be going back to Buenos Aires.
Great. Well, another one to Claudio and Javier that probably you could tell more about you actually, because The question is there an association that represents all the wineries of the region?
Yes, well, we are from Wine of Salta. We keep together in order to looking for the best, how you say, the best possibility and best develop for everyone.
You can find us in the screen. I don't know if you're showing the screen we are seeing. You see Bodegas de Salta on the left. That will be our web page. Bodegas de Salta, all together, .com.ar.
Perfect. And there you will find all the information about all the wineries. Well, one more.
Yes, normally
yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Another question, is the Torrontés unique from Salta? Which vineyards produce the Torrontés?
No, also Torrontés is produced in all parts of Argentina. Also a little bit in Bolivia, they have. But our best, the Torrontés have a better adapted to the Calchaqui Valley because his terroir, because his soil is very, very sandy, and there is like a more aromatic, a little more powerful, have a more, how you say, more glycerin wine, is more body, and then the best quality of this wine in Argentina is from Calchaqui Valley.
Perfect. And talking about actually the different wines, another question is, how does the taste of the Malbecs of the Salta are differ from the ones from the lower altitude of Mendoza?
Well, it's like we spoke before, it's more powerful wine, it's more deep in color, it's also aromatic, but also have a very natural acidity, which one make a little more, how you say, it's more silky and elegant wine. But the main characteristic is powerful wines and good acidity, with good balance.
Okay, well, we are going with the two last ones. One is, are special dietary needs such as celiac disease and gluten-free accommodation at dining location outside of the main cities? Also
yes,
vegan?
Yes, you can find them in Salta, obviously. In Cafayate, there are 2 or 3 hotels, accommodations that can handle special requirements, as well as in Molinos. So I think you have all the way around an accommodation that can handle special requirements.
Okay, and the other one I'm going to answer. It's about what's the current travel advisory and if there are airports open in Argentina. At this moment, we are closed. Probably we are going to open in September, but at this moment we are not sure about that. But what is very important is that US and Canadian passport do not need any visa. There's no more the reciprocity fee that you had to pay to the charge that you had to pay to enter to Argentina. So just a valid passport to travel to Argentina. So we are going to be open. We are going also to send all the information that we are inviting you and all your passengers again to our country. Okay, so I would like to say thank you to Claudio, Javier, Natalia, Eduardo. Thank you for joining us also today, all the audience also. Eduardo, if you want to tell some words. You are mute, Eduardo. Just check. In the meanwhile, we're going with Claudio and Javier.
Well, I will thank you first of all for having the patience of listening our lecture. But the most important things, we hope you enjoyed it, and we hope to see you soon in Salta, especially in Cafayate, where you will find, as I said again, wonderful people. And the best thing at this time with this time economic situation, let's call it about that, is if we get rid of this pandemic COVID-19, the economic exchange rate for foreigners is very, very, very suitable at this time.
Yeah, for me it was an honor and pleasure to be here, and thank you a lot for everything, and we wait for you.
Thank you. Eduardo, now yes, we hear you.
Hey, I close the conversation today. Thank you for everyone for sharing with us in the other side of the screen, and thank you, Natalia, Claudio, and Javier for this beautiful presentation about Salta. I'm very clear about the Terroir now, and okay, I hope you have enjoyed this webinar, and we are waiting for you on the next week for the next one webinar.
Thank you, Eduardo. Natalia.
Thank you so much
You.
for sharing your time with us, and thank you for your time. And I hope you enjoy our presentation. We stay here. I hope you come here to the province of Salta to visit us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, so we are closing. We are leaving you with a last video, and then you have a survey. Okay, so thank you very much, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Estamos esperando esos momentos, el de volver a sentir los rayos de sol en nuestra cara, respirar ese aire fresco por las mañanas, sentir la naturaleza que nos rodea, el comenzar de una nueva aventura o ese momento íntimo de conectarnos con nosotros mismos. Volver a brindar con amigos y bailar con desconocidos. Esperamos en casa, de norte a sur, de este a oeste, en cada rincón de Argentina. Esperamos que vuelvas al fin del mundo. O quizás al principio de todo. Viajá desde tu casa.